Welcome to this edition of the BRSN Insider. I'm sitting down with first-year softball coach Paul Hunt. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Dakota. Glad to be here.
So first we'll talk about your background and how you ended up at Benedictine.
Well, I started out actually coaching on the high school side for a while, and I was at a Catholic school in Iowa, and they do their softball a little bit different. It's in the summer, and it's really a lot more competitive. You don't see as much travel ball in Iowa than you do other states, which is kind of cool. And then I went to Iowa Central, and I was there officially for 3 years. And then I came down in July, and we started recruiting day one of having the offer. Yeah.
So first doubleheader at home yesterday, 2 wins over Kansas West. In the first game, a 3-1 win. Erin Zybarth in her first career start goes complete game, only gives up 1 run. Your thoughts on the game and her performance?
Well, she did just a fantastic job. Could not be happier for her. She's one of our hardest working kids on a day in, day out basis, and how far she's come and grown since she got here back in August. Now, I had a little bit of a scare there when you walked the first 3 to start the game. We caught a break with a runner taken off early, but then she settled in and really threw a really nice game. You look at the 1 run that she gave up that was earned, the only earned run of the day for us in both games. Yeah. And, it was a ground ball that took a hop over a third baseman. It wasn't a hard hit shot. Really, really happy with her approach and her appearance with it on the mound. Then also for our girls to be able to just overcome. We kept putting into situations, and in the fall, and fall ball is always a little bit different because you're not playing a true rotation, but we had an issue of closing games out. I was really excited to see our intensity level, 6th, 7th innings, stay high.
And then we'll go into game 2. We'll skip the first 5 and a half, first 5 innings of that game. You got down 5-1, and then we'll get into the 6th inning. What was the mentality going into that inning?
Well, throughout the entire game, we really felt like we should have been putting up runs. Felt like several innings we had runners in situations we wanted to be in and couldn't get that last hit, that big 2-out hit that you just need to have those big innings. So our approach was very, very regular. Stay our ship. Let's go the same path we've been. Don't let moments become too big. And notice that we have, we started having this conversation in the 5th inning. We have 3 at bats. 6th inning comes, we have 2 at bats. It doesn't have to all happen at one time. And I think that just helps them stay relaxed. And I was really, really, really proud of where our approaches were. I look at even the outs that we had early in the game. Did we get the result we wanted? Not so much, but the mental side of the approach and how they were handling their at-bats was really, really strong. So I had a lot of confidence we were going to have something happen prior to that. But I'd never expected to see the explosion of having, 9 cents of the plate in a row with all reaching base. Really, really cool.
It started with 2 singles by Megan Henderson and Tiffany Ray, and then you pinch hit Regina Splain. What was the decision behind that to pinch hit Regina in that situation?
Regina Splain has been one of our most consistent and most improved hitters in our cage work, and we do a lot to not try to wear our pitchers catchers out. So having her on the bench with our smaller roster, we don't have a whole lot of options inside of our bench, but she does such a good job of seeing the whole field and then having a spot where we have runners on 2nd and 3rd and an opportunity to drive a couple of runs. And at that time we were in a 4-run ball game that we were down. If we could cut that lead in half in that inning was kind of the approach. If we could score 2 runs out of that and be sitting 5-3 and have a shot in the 7th.
Yeah, she triples, brings in 2 runs, pick up an out. Then Molly sacrifice fly brings in Regina.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get it all straight because this is such a long inning.
It was pretty crazy.
Then the bases end up empty, and then your leadoff hitter gets down 0-2 and then draws a walk.
Well, and that at bat, I don't know how many pitches she had to have seen, but it had to have been 10 plus. Several. She got 0-2, and I think she had 4 or 5 foul balls.
Oh yeah,
in that at bat. The thing that I think gets missed on a whole lot of this, and it's something we'll talk about as a team, is we didn't give Blair a take. She didn't miss a sign or anything, but we were definitely sending Al. And I kept thinking, okay, if we have 2, 3, 4 coming up with 2 outs, if we can get a speedy Alex Burris over to second base.
Yeah.
Base hit, a little blooper, we're going to score.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting to be in that spot. So now we have her at third base, and you have 3, 4, 5. You got to feel pretty confident we're going to score a run.
And Sarah had been close twice.
She
the 2 balls she hit in the game, one was to the fence, and the other one was a hard hit shot as well. Second the ball left the bat.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that. That was really hit really hard. We actually are going to have the debate today, jokingly, of who hit theirs harder, hers or Tiffany, a little bit later. But no, she's been our most athletic hitter at the plate since the fall has come, and we've had a little bit of an injury with her in the fall. She kind of tweaked her back, and it was sitting for a while or not quite doing the full regimen, and she's just now starting to get comfortable back at the plate.
Yeah.
So really excited to see how she finishes her year, and it's a great start for her, well deserved.
And then we're still going.
Yeah.
Abby Hyde singles, Megan draws a walk, and then Tiffany hits another 3-run home run, and it just continues.
Yeah, it's with Tiffany, we've been having that conversation since she's gotten here. We brought you here to drive the ball. So every time she steps into the bat, whether it's that situation or really any time she gets into the box, your job is to go gap to gap and bigger. So we let her have a lot of big swings. She's such a strong, powerful, quick hands with her that anytime she gets that bat through the zone and has good connection, she's going to do some damage. So,
and then you tacked on one more, 10 runs in an inning. Obviously something you never expect to happen, but closes that one out 11-5. What we did mention, Lexi Ricky on the mound too.
I thought Lexi threw really well. We look at her day, and we struggled defensively early. All 5 of those runs are unearned runs. We look at that inning there where we had the ball tip off Molly's glove at second base. We had a rough transfer at second base on another play there, and then also having I think Abby just had one slide out of her hands on a play coming home, and I think a lot of those mistakes I look at in a weird way. I think they're almost exciting because we have such a young team. If we look across the board, we started a freshman in both games, game 1, game 2 on the mound. Abby Hyde, who started both games for us at third base as a freshman. Faith Harding started first base the second game for us as a freshman. And then Megan Henderson, who started and as a designated player, basically more of a DH role, coming from the baseball side of things. And then got the start in right field for us. And I think, we're going to have some of these mistakes. We knew that going in. We're going to have some of those. We're young. We're nervous. This is our first time to go on the stage. I think those are going to be easy things for this group to clean up. So if we can get performances like that out of Lexi and Aaron back and forth, those should have been, if we can give up 1-2 runs in a day, we'll be all right.
Well, you were supposed to go to Arkansas tomorrow and Saturday. That inclement weather, I'm guessing, is
it's been raining there. Started Wednesday, and it's 90% on the forecast through the entire weekend. So I think they're going to play a couple of games. They're going to try to do a little bit down there, but they're thinking they're going to get maybe 3 or 4 games total that whole weekend in. And we're really bummed about it because to go down and miss 4 games early, everybody's still really excited to be at the ballpark, and great competition down there.
Yeah, that was something I was going to mention. You're going to play a couple ranked teams, play a Division I school. Would have been good to get the experience, especially since the team's so young.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to see what we can do on the scheduling side. Now, the plus of this whole thing is we've opened up 2 dates, so we're going to see what we can fill that in with and see if we can get a couple of challenging non-conference games to just get us ready to roll. So,
all right, Coach, thank you very much for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Benedictine College softball coach Paul Hunt on the BRSN Insider.
A wise man once said, "The world offers you comfort, but you were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness." Discover what you were made for. Benedictine College, where greatness begins.
Back on the BRSN Insider, I'm sitting down with track and field coach Henry Brun. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me again.
Very exciting weekend for you guys this last weekend at the Hart Championships. The women finished second, men finished fifth, 5 champions in total, 42 top 8s, 26 all-conference, 7 school records, and 5 NAIA qualifiers. A lot to talk about.
Yeah, it was nonstop for us. The meet started off well on day one. It was the women's pentathlon. We had some prelims in the short sprints. Then we had a couple of relays and some longer distance races. I guess I'll start by talking about how the women's weekend went. We went into the meet knowing that if all things worked out for us, we had a legitimate shot at winning, if not being top 2. We knew that we were more well-rounded. We knew we could score in a lot more different events. We were a little deeper than we have been the past couple of years. So we were pretty promising going in. That first day we had the pentathlon. Maddie Minert won the conference title in the pentathlon, improved on her national mark. She's ranked currently 5th in the country. And we went 1st, 3rd, and 4th in the pentathlon. Second place was a girl from MNU who also hit the national qualifying mark. Third place was Shelly Lowers on our team, who hit the national qualifying mark. She's currently ranked number 17 in the country, and they take 16 to nationals, so we're hoping if we declare, someone may not declare, she might get in. We had a couple good relays going on with the women's 4x800, and then Kashonda Rose really shined in the short sprints. She shocked the conference by winning the 60 dash on the second day, and not only did she tie the school record, but she qualified for nationals in the 60 dash in that race. And then it just kept rolling from event to event. I mean, winning the women's pole vault, Alex Stenberg, who's a junior, really put in a lot of hard work the past couple of years, and so it was really rewarding to see her come out on top. The women's DMR, which was a pleasant surprise with a number of underclassmen. Our leadoff leg was a sophomore who actually just transferred here from St. Gregory's after their incident with their school closing and everything. So she was very happy to be part of a relay that was able to come out on top. Our second leg was a girl who's a sophomore who had some injuries and hadn't competed in about a year. She ran a great 400-meter leg for us in that relay. Our third leg was a freshman who had a lifetime best in that relay in the 800 leg of the relay, and that she had run 3 800s in 2 days and ran her best one at the end. And our anchor leg was our freshman miler, who was conference runner-up in the mile earlier in the day with one of her best mile times of her life. So it was pretty awesome to see some stuff, and it ended right. Our women's 4x4 broke the school record that they broke the week before again, and they were within a second and a half of qualifying for nationals. We scored more points than we did the year before by like 30, and we still lost by 36. I mean, partially due to Conference Athlete of the Year was from Mid-America. She ran the 5K, 3K, 1,000 a mile and won all 4 of them. And so that's 40 points, and we lost by 36. So I really couldn't be any happier. As a young team, we did really well. So.
And then the men, they finished 5th.
That's a better performance than last year. I believe we finished 6th or 7th last year. We scored 10 more points than we did the year before. Again, more well-rounded. Our top performer all around, I'd say, is Jeremiah Keneally. He's a sophomore on the team who is a heptathlete. He got second in the heptathlon. He qualified for nationals, and he's sitting 15th right now in the country, and they take top 16. So our fingers are crossed that by Sunday we find out if he stays in the top 16, he gets that opportunity. Joseph Butler, our top short sprinter, he got tied for second in the 60 dash and is 0.03 seconds from the national qualifying mark in the 60. We had a high jumper that placed top 3 as a freshman. A lot of young guys really stepping up. And it was really cool from the beginning to the end, watching event after event after event, of championship caliber competing, knowing that we're out there to score. Everyone who we brought there virtually scored at the meet. And that doesn't typically happen, that everyone you bring who qualifies in the top 18 can be in the top 8 at the end of the weekend. So it was a lot of fun to be there.
And you guys, you said you're going down to Mizzou tomorrow. So who are you going to take?
So we're taking 5 athletes down to Mizzou. We're going to take Kashonda. She's going to run the 60 dash again, see if we can get a better time. She's also going to try and qualify in the 200. She lost the 200 at conference by 1/100th of a second, so the girl outleaned her to win the conference title. And those 2 girls will be racing against each other to both try to qualify. Janelle Talton, who's our freshman high jumper, he's going to be going. And he's 1 height away from qualifying for nationals in the high jump. He had some cracks at that height 2 weeks ago, and we're trying to give him another opportunity. Joseph Butler in the 60, because 300's a second away. Elijah Green in the 3,000 meters. He is close to the school record. He's going to have a pretty good race in order to get into the national meet. But I think the people who are going are going to give him a good fight.
Yeah.
And he might have a chance to come out and do some pretty awesome stuff. And then we're bringing Serena Parker, who won the conference title in the shot put this past weekend and is 36 centimeters from qualifying for nationals in the shot put. And so it'll be a fun weekend. Everyone's right there on that bubble. You know, Mizzou, last chance meets in general, bring out the best in everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, even if we come home with a couple more school records or improving on our season's best, we're going to have a good day regardless.
Yeah.
If we qualify for nationals, it'll be a bonus. But
A lot of time between now and nationals. What is that like to get the athletes ready?
well, it's nitpicking everything. So you take Maddie, for example, who's a multi, and you pick out the events that may not be that great. She's got to improve in the shot put. She's going to improve in the high jump. We work on some things in long jump. And we just start nitpicking at all the little things, knowing that if we can piece all those things together, the other stuff's second nature now.
Yeah.
If we piece all those things together, we get to the national meet, you're going to have a good showing. You know, for her, she wants to be a top 3 finisher in that pentathlon. And if she has a hell of a day, she might come home with a national title. I really don't know. Because, you know, she had an all right day at conference and improved her point total, and there's still things we're working on.
Yeah.
And, you know, with Kashonda going, you know, she had that first experience in the spring when she went in the 100 meters and the 200 meters.
Yeah.
And so the deer in the headlights experience is kind of over. You know, I'm here, I really enjoy nationals. It's I got business to do, I'm going to take care of it. So she is working on, you know, block starts, explosive stuff. How do we close races? What do we need to be thinking? So it's finding all the small stuff and just getting ready for nationals. So when we go there, we perform well. We represent our school the way that we are. You know, we train and we represent ourselves within the mission of the school. And then, you know, we praise God that we have that opportunity to compete. We compete to the best of our ability, and we see what happens.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much for joining. Best
I
of luck to
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.
Track and field coach Henry Brun on the BRSN Insider.